Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Alright, so we're going to do a review of Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live on September 9th and 10th. So let's hit it. We start off the show with Stone Cold Steve Austin, my second favorite all-time wrestler, is coming to make sure that the contract is signed. He introduces Braun Strowman first. He goes, when Braun Strowman gets to the ring, he offers to shake Stone Cold's hand. He ignores it. Everybody is on edge.
Who's your first favorite?
Undertaker. Shh. We'll wait on that. Anyway, with that fact, we got the fact that he introduces Seth Rollins after ignoring the handshake of Braun Strowman. Then he extends his hand once both competitors in the ring to shake Braun Strowman's hand and Seth Rollins' hand. It was like, oh, he wanted to wait for both of them in the ring to shake hands. He wasn't pulling favorites until both were. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's cool. After which, once both said their piece and actually made puns of Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's just laughing. Oh, okay. Be right back.
Okay. You were sitting there. You were trying to attack me. That's why I happened.
Yeah. Well, we would have Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman make puns of Stone Cold sayings, his old catchphrases, and he's just out there like, he's just cracking up. He's like, he can't help himself. So once both signed the contract, it would then be the OCs, the original club, of AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows actually come in and them too making fun of Stone Cold. Well, saying some of his catchphrases and his tone of voice. And he's like, but once things got real serious, all of them are in the ring and he's looking to AJ Styles and his good brothers, two sweet OCs, are looking to pick a fight. And Stone Cold is just like, you ain't getting your hands on this contract and ripping it up like you did last week. That's what you see him doing. He's backing up. Then Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman wreck the hell out of the OCs. AJ Styles is in the middle of the ring with Stone Cold behind him, and I'm happy. I'm so happy because we haven't seen Stone Cold do this in a long time.
He did. He did it last year.
Nah, we see, yeah. But then he goes and does this. He sticks the middle fingers to AJ Styles, stunners him, and then goes onto the top rope and does both fingers up in the air with the middle fingers. He has not done that in fucking decades. He hasn't done that in decades. I am happy to see that.
It's been, for him, it's been 11 years.
11 years? So over a decade. Thank you. I said, I knew it was more than 10 years. I just didn't know how long. Which case, Nick, hyped on Stone Cold, I let it go black. Let it go to sleep mode.
I must hype on The Rock.
Yeah, I'm hyped on Stone Cold.
So I like how he likes to talk trash. He's like the best wrestler on the microphone.
Got the Pokestops going.
He's shaking his baby right now.
No, my baby is the Pokestops. I got a little Incentru in here. But that's not what this is about. Let's get on with the story. We have, right after getting stunnered by Stone Cold Steve Austin, AJ Styles is now having to be put in a match immediately after that contract signing and fiasco that happened courtesy of his own doing. He then has to fight Cedric Alexander. Yep. Standard match. In which case, Cedric Alexander gets jumped by Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, ultimately ending in a disqualification in the favor of Cedric Alexander. But apparently, after that, AJ Styles is interviewed and saying that after that incident and having to cheat to win, or to survive in this case, he didn't win. Cedric won by disqualification, so he didn't win. They stated that they run this show and that they're not going anywhere. Little on that in just a bit. Next, we would have Roman Reigns honoring Madison Square Garden in New York, showcasing all the Connor's Cure for Cancer superstars of tomorrow. All these little kids have fought cancer in one form or another and survived or are still fighting it. The stories will be told on WWE.com or whatever internet source that their stories are told. There we go. We would then have the questionable tag team between the Hugger and Boss connection of Bayley and Sasha Banks teaming up against heated enemies as this more. They're frenemies, but they're still kind of enemies right now of the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and the number one contender for Bayley's SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte Flair. Ultimately, despite their controversy, Becky and Charlotte ended up getting the win thanks to Charlotte hitting the natural selection onto Bayley. Going forward to Clash of Champions. Next up, I'm sideswiped because I've been seeing this on Instagram, and Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creeds on Up Up Down Down, is going nuts for this character on the new Gears of War 5 with Dave Bautista as a playable character. And he voiced his own character with his own number one lines that you might reminisce on his good old days in wrestling. He's saying going animal. He said, "Give me what I want." They even added that into the freaking thing.
I sent y'all that.
I know. I watched it on Instagram before you sent. I didn't even see it on the group text. I don't see a lot of stuff in the group text because a lot of things you share require data. I don't got good data, so I can't see it until I get home. And when I'm home, TV, YouTube, Twitch, or anything on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I haven't been on Twitter in a while, so. You see where my pattern's going, right? Everything else but the group text. But I like to read what y'all saying, so I catch up and I'm like, and then I see it later. Oh, that's what they're talking about. Shit, let me send that shit. I send shit y'all way too in the group text, boys. Y'all know me. Next, we would have a luchador style match between legendary Rey Mysterio versus new upcoming star, King of the Ropes, Gran Metalik. And ladies and gentlemen, this coming from a Hispanic who loves luchadors from the heritage, I can say for a fact that that was a fantastic match. Perfect. In which case, Rey Mysterio won that match, and it was nothing but respect from Gran Metalik. They did some flips and tricks.
I have Hispanic in my family too.
You do?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, it looks like that. In which case, next we had to have a triple threat match in the semifinals, I believe. Yep, semifinals. In a triple threat between Baron Corbin, Ricochet, and Samoa Joe. Whoever wins this match will face off SmackDown branch's King of the Ring in the finals. Sadly, despite all the efforts, I was rooting for Ricochet. Second pick would be Samoa Joe. And sure enough, my last pick won. Baron Corbin. Despite how you may feel about him, and I sure as hell do, you gotta give it to the guy who has been winning it fair and square, taunting everybody, insulting everybody, but still is bringing home the bacon. And enough said, Baron Corbin defeated, took advantage of a already hyped up Ricochet and took advantage of that situation that Joe was down to move on to the finals. Next, we have Natalya versus Lacey Evans, in which case, finally, the losing streak is over with. Lacey Evans, after getting the win on Natalya last week, Natalya would actually get the victory thanks to her family legacy submission hold. Submission hold, the sharpshooter. Lacey Evans taps out And everybody is losing their minds because we have not seen anybody tap out to the sharpshooter in a long time. Seriously. The only times you see classical submission holds like that, like the crossface, sharpshooter, finger four leg lock, the only people who actually get any of those moves is none other than Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair, with her figure 8. Any other time, it's somebody new from a different land that gets a submission hold in and wins. Case in point, MMA with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler and Kushida from New Japan Wrestling. So, case in point. That, in the UK, Pete Dunne. Am I wrong?
I never watched his matches. So
Right? But have you ever seen anybody win by submissions that wasn't somebody from a foreign land? I mean, technically, Natalia is from Canada, but that's not. Still.
Yeah, but that's not. They don't consider that.
Seen the move like sharpshooter actually get a win? When was the last time? Last Monday.
I remember.
Right?
Yeah, but.
I can't go back that far.
But you know that Canadia's not foreign land, bro.
Yeah, it is. Canada.
No, actually, I would know, bro. Because I have family living from Canada. It's not really.
There's Canada, United States, Mexico.
Yeah.
We're all part of the northern part, but different regions.
Yeah, but they just said don't.
Different countries.
Yeah,
countries.
The one that's foreign land.
That's what I meant to say. Countries.
Yeah. The one that's foreign land is Germany. France.
Oh, that's all part of UK.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Europe, UK, Australia,
Russia,
Asia, China.
Russia,
Asia is part of China.
Ukraine,
South America.
Yeah.
Shit. What did I tap on?
Africa and Nigeria.
Oh yeah, I forgot Africa. And I think
Jamaica.
North and South Pole count. Iceland. I got a blur.
Yeah, and let's say Jamaica.
Yeah, I was never good at those little things. I just know that little.
Iraq, Pakistan.
That's part of the Middle East.
Yes, I'm naming.
That's actually part of Asia, if I'm correct. I could be wrong.
I'm naming all the foreign countries.
That's fine. We're not here for a history lesson on that.
I know. That's the last part.
Anyway, next we have. Well, not everybody. Like me, I'm stupid.
Yeah, I get you that.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not the smartest. I'm not the brightest bulb.
He's not.
But I'm a strategist. That's what I make up. I'm a good strategist.
That's what he got me as a college one that knows all this stuff.
Not me. I never been to college. Never wanted to. I already had a paying job. I didn't need the education.
Sometimes they'll tell you have to get like a
yes, I know. Job. That's the sucky part. Like I need an education for that. Damn, I gotta get 100 something, $5,000, $150,000. What the fuck? I got a shit ton of money that I don't got, and I gotta go for 4 years of studying, and I might not make it. Fuck you. And everybody else is going for the same job as me, and I might not get it after all that shit. Fuck you.
And you gotta learn new words that you never heard of.
Right?
like I said before.
Yeah. I'd rather work at one of those universities as a janitor than that. We're already janitors, so fuck it. Next, Bray Wyatt and his new episode of the Firefly Funhouse. Get back on track here. Anyway, this is Stranger Danger. Like, what? They calling Stone Cold Steve Austin a stranger to Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. That is eerie as hell because the fact that they are actually now talking about why he is going after Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers was from a whole different era, which is ideally what they were going for. People were talking about. But now, people are actually saying that it would be either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman. But now that promo was made, are we actually going to see Stone Cold return to the ring fighting The Fiend at Hell in a Cell?
No, because Stone Cold's... They get tired of people asking that question. Like, he says he's not going to wrestle ever again.
Yeah, we actually watched on on straight up Steve Austin that he actually was about to go straight back into the ring because Fluffy was calling his ass up, texting him at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, Fluffy made me do it.
But you know why they bring legends to the WWE?
What?
Because if you didn't notice, Triple H and Mr. Man said that we bring those guys back because they put over current superstars.
Mm-hmm.
They make more money than current superstars. And most fans care about legends than them.
Next, we would have an interesting conversation. Before I forgot, but apparently they would have a discussion with the OCs and the number one contenders for the Raw tag team titles, not Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Ultimately, apparently, a feud would break out between their match. But that's right. It was Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And it would escalate where people just kept coming out until finally we would have a 10-man tag match. Mm-hmm. In one corner are the baby faces of Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Cedric Alexander. He already had a match, but he's getting paid double. Then we had the Viking Raiders because they had beef with the other team of the OCs, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles also getting paid double because of his issue with Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Cedric Alexander comes to their aid. And of course, seeing as that Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler were already in there, they were mashed up together. Woo, man, whoo! Guy like Ric Flair, whoo, man. That was one hell of a match. At one point, we had these guys all over the place hitting signature move, signature, finisher. I was like, hell yeah! I was enjoying the show. Then we would actually see us. Yeah, you can go ahead and look up SmackDown Live on the September the 10th because that was the last bit. Because, dude, we would actually see an actual showing of teamwork between Seth and Braun like we've never seen before. Seth Rollins goes for the suicide dive, and right behind, running like a freight train, is Braun Strowman hitting them one after another. He going all the way around, and Seth Rollins going suicide dive before they get wrecked by Braun Strowman right after the suicide dive. That was fantastic. They were on the same page, on the same wavelength. And then, just as easily they had it, it's broken apart because of a certain incident. Case in point, after that little showing where Braun Strowman slams, if I remember correctly, he slams one of the OCs and then goes for the pin. But sadly, we would have both Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler tag team against Seth Rollins to push him into Braun Strowman while he's pinning him, and everybody sees it. We all see it, that was breaking up the pin. Braun didn't. He was too busy on the pin to notice what the hell was going on. All he saw was Seth Rollins fell on him. And he's like, what are you doing? I got shoved. In which case, it escalates to a point where the match is drawn out even more, where the Viking Raiders, oh my God, this was crazy. Someone as big as you, maybe bigger than you, actually freaking grabbed the top rope in the corner and just grips his legs into AJ Styles' face and pole vault himself away from the ropes and sits on his chest. The Viking Raiders do not disappoint, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that big moves too damn easy.
That's
big as that heavyweight, moves like a cruiserweight. By definition. Damn.
I seen wrestlers do it. I seen Brock Lesnar do it.
Yeah, but not this big. You seen him?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
You saw that part in the show? Did you see that part?
Yeah.
I love that part. That was Chris Petrie. Nothing personal to your favorite wrestler, bro. But that's funny. That was funny.
But I seen, let's do it. He's big like that. I seen Big Show do it. Mark Henry as well.
Yep. In which case, in that match, we would actually have, I believe, the Viking Raiders. I'm trying to remember who got the win. Yes, now I remember. It was none other than Cedric Alexander that, in a moment where he got the drop on AJ Styles from behind, again, Chris, nothing personal. Your boy AJ Styles got lumbar checked, and boy, that was a big one. We haven't seen anything that big in a while. We haven't seen the lumbar check guy hit that hard in a long time. In which case, damn, it would get Cedric Alexander. Before, I thought that Ricochet had a title shot against AJ Styles. I was completely wrong. That must have happened before, or it might have changed it up, where now Cedric Alexander is, after pinning AJ Styles and actually winning on AJ Styles twice that night, one by disqualification, actually pinning him in the second match of that night. Cedric Alexander can't believe it, and he's double shocked because here's Stone Cold's music, and he's like, ah! Stone Cold is happy to know that his team won. He was actually rooting for that team. He comes out, gets all these beers, gives everybody a single beer. He gets 2 beers for himself, and they're having a beer bash. Viking Raiders themselves are just giving themselves a beer shower. Like, what the hell?
I'm upset.
Okay, we're back, and that was fun. They were giving themselves a beer bash. They were just having straight up Stone Cold. So go ahead and mention what you were just saying.
There's speculation that people are saying things about Cedric Alexander. They don't understand why he getting a push.
I do.
No, but they said
go ahead.
That what they're gonna do is they're gonna treat him the same way like they did to Kalisto.
And Rey Mysterio, honestly.
Well, Rey Mysterio is different.
Rey Mysterio was United States champion before, right?
Yeah, in WCW, but not in WWE.
Yeah, but he's I guess barely still a cruiserweight or over 205 weight limit now. But still, considering his body build, Cedric Alexander is still considered a cruiserweight by the eyes of the fans.
But see, like Rey Mysterio,
especially his flying style with Ricochet is the same way.
Rey Mysterio, he put on weight, as you know, because he said himself to make something like a heavyweight. That's why he wanted to be at the same level, because that's where his buddy Eddie Guerrero was in The Rock.
It helps when you grow bigger too.
Mm-hmm. And like they said, that Cedric Alexander's gonna get treated like they did to Kalisto. They said they're gonna push him, but look what happened to Kalisto. He didn't get pushed.
Which case, that will be it for Raw. Let's move on to SmackDown. And this is the part I was telling you to go, shh, because, ladies and gentlemen, the one person who starts the show on SmackDown, you would see fans, like one of these fans was balls out freaking surprised. He couldn't believe it. In New York City, The Undertaker made an appearance. There was talk about him showing, and it was true. He would speculate, and it would actually sound like he was going to retire for sure this time. The words he was using, that time is coming to an end, in which case Sami Zayn shows up, son of a bitch, to spoil the party, and Undertaker just whoops his ass.
But do you know why? Because Sami Zayn said some things about The Undertaker on Twitter. And that's why Undertaker did.
Yeah, he was actually telling him that he should just leave. Because that's his ring. Undertaker just made it look like he left, but just freaking balls out whooped his ass. Okay. Wait.
I want to talk about the referred situation in WWE.
Give me a sec. We would have a match between The Miz and Andrea with Shinsuke Nakamura on commentary. After the assault of The Undertaker, rightfully so, on Sami Zayn. That said, The Miz actually got the win on Andrea. Zelina Vega couldn't believe it, but Shinsuke Nakamura comes from behind right after the win to Kinshasa off the side of his head, back of his head. Without missing a beat, he is making it perfectly clear he does not plan on losing to The Miz at Clash of Champions for his Cruiserweight title. Oh, another speculation.
Title.
Pardon my saying Intercontinental title. I say Cruiserweight. A lot of people are speculating that they're adding, instead, even though this is his first about to say Cruiserweight again, Intercontinental title belt in WWE, they're actually adding it to the Intercontinental titles that he has won multiple times in New Japan Wrestling. So, how many would that make?
Yeah, but they doesn't count that, though, bro.
People are saying it. Even commentaries were actually saying it at one point. I was like, what?
They say that, I mean, it's true, though.
6 times. I was like 6 or 7 times. What the hell are you talking about? That's his first.
They say that, I mean, it's true. Actually true.
We then have, and I'm sorry, I gotta talk trash about Mandy. Let me say that again. Mandy. For your, that's for you, Xavier, and you, because y'all like to hear me whisper her name. Mandy. Like that. Well, I'm sorry, Mandy got this coming. That girl was talking trash on how Nikki Cross looks. Nikki Cross did not like that one bit. Came out and whooped her sorry damn ass. And not only did she whoop that ass, that, I guess you would say, fine, blown, desirable ass, since she's desire of fire desire. Nikki Cross got the win on her, going into Clash of Champions for her and her partner Alexa Bliss against Fire and Desire. So, who will come out on top will be the reigning defending third ever Women's Smackdown. Women, it's hard to say with all these freaking titles. Women's Tag Team titles, champions. Or will Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville be the fourth ever Women Tag Team Champions of WWE? We will have to wait and see. We then have Otis and Tucker pretty much steamroll through their local talent. You go, hey, Tucker! Oh yeah! A little disgust are we, just because of the fact that he actually dropped his gear and showed that extra plus size belly that's bigger than mine and yours. Damn. But nonetheless, it was fun to see him do the caliper like he usually does. Next, we have Roman Reigns and
Sky Too High is mad about that too.
Huh?
Sky Too High don't understand why wrestlers are using
the worm.
Yeah,
calling it the caterpillar because he don't do that whole. He does He just goes. He does it his own way. We then have Roman Reigns and Eric Roman throw down in a chaotic brawl. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Beautiful. We then have an interesting match with Charlotte Flair on commentary while the match between Ember Moon and Bayley commence. Ultimately, a rematch to SummerSlam? Right? Yeah. A rematch of Ember Moon versus Bayley. So I'm thinking SummerSlam. In which case, Bayley got the win, and right after that, Charlotte Flair, doing her heel tactic, jumps from behind and showcases that she plans on winning at Clash of Champions, making herself a 10-time WWE Women's Champion. So, Bayley's still the babyface despite everything going on with Sasha Banks. Next, we would have Kofi Kingston return to Madison Square Garden, came full circle in a brutal fashion, when he would actually issue that he is going to beat Randy Orton. Randy Orton is out there right when he was doing his WWE. I'm going to cut there, and he says, stupid, stupid, stupid. A brawl between them just breaks out and just straight up relive that what happened over a decade ago, where he just freaking breaks the table with Randy Orton going through it. A lot of people thought it was going to be Randy that got the jump on him this time. Nope. Kofi Kingston's got the one-up on Randy Orton again, in which case is moving forward to Clash of Champions this Sunday. Finally, courtesy of a leg injury, Elias is no longer able to participate in the semifinals or the King of the Ring tournament entirely. So now Chad Gable is looking to Shane McMahon ultimately, and yeah, you can hold your phone now. Ultimately, to look at a pass to the finals against Baron Corbin. Instead, he would say that he's going to find him an opponent to go into the King of the Ring tournament. And he would ultimately look around, talk, but it would be typical heel McMahon style. Pointed himself as Chad Gable's opponent for the King of the Ring, and is already speculating that he's going to be the best king in the world kind of shit. Going so far as to put it over Kevin Owens' head that he's going to make him the special guest referee for that match. To put in the fact that $10,000 fine for attacking a WWE official, which was named Elias at the time, who, you already know the history of how he screwed him over. But he put it in his idea that if he doesn't do it, he might consider it or still push it on that 10 grand fine. In which case, the match goes differently than what we thought. It would be Kevin Owens actually putting his family first before wanting to screw over Shane McMahon. There was plenty of opportunities to do so, but each and every time, he's always slowing down the pin when Shane's pinned down and speeding up the count when Shane has the pin going for his favor. Ultimately, it would be a situation where Kevin Owens is told to actually use the chair. Actually, no, Chad Gable got the pin on Shane McMahon, and he goes and rules that it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls count. God. I'm serious with this freaking 2 out of 3 falls match. What the hell? Is that Shane's favorite match now? 2 out of 3 falls?
He likes screw wrestlers, bro.
No, he's been issuing those tournament match all the time. He's like the tag team fanatic of Teddy Long with the 2 out of 3 falls.
You know,
what the hell?
Because he learned doing that from his dad. His dad did that same thing to Stone Cold.
No, he was doing that with everybody else. He was
before. That's why in the after his dad was doing the same thing with Stone Cold and The Rock.
Well, ultimately, in that match, it would be Shane McMahon who ultimately tries to pull a chair in there, knowing that if he hits him with a chair, he still has another count to break for a third fall. And he goes and looks at Kevin Owens and says that he's going to be the one that throws the chair. Instead of throwing the chair, he goes and throws the freaking chair out of the ring, and Chad Gable immediately goes for an ankle lock and has it in deep where Shane McMahon can't go anywhere, and he is tapping for everyone to see. And the freaking ring bearer is ding, 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 because Kevin Owens didn't even issue. So, Chad Gable is the underdog that we know him to be, is going straight to the finals to fight Baron Corbin for the King of the Ring next Monday Night Raw after Clash of Champions. But then this happened. After which, Shane McMahon is wondering what the hell happened. And Kevin Owens is explaining to him that, what were you doing? This was supposed to be, you weren't supposed to pin. Why would you tap? Why did you tap? What was I supposed to do? After he turns his back on Shane, Shane jumps him and then issues the word that his father made famous, saying, "You're fired." He didn't say it in the same fashion, but he's just repeated, said, "You hear me? You're fired. You're done." But here's my idea of the future of what may occur. Don't quote me, but didn't Shane, I already said this, but I'll say it again, fined Kevin Owens $10,000 for attacking an official which he had dubbed Elias, and that he couldn't allow anyone to just attack an official. So he made an example out of Kevin Owens and fined him that money. But now he just attacked Kevin Owens, who he dubbed official and was still wearing the black and white referee gear. And he did so before firing him. Therefore, I have a funny suspicion that we're going to have an incident where Triple H and Vince McMahon had this little issue way back, not too long ago, actually, where they were relieved of duty, or instead of Kevin Owens being fined, it will be Shane McMahon now being fined. So in other words, we may have a Shane McMahon review, and Shane McMahon may be stripped of all power on television storyline. And he'll be put back on the basics of being behind the scenes.
Yeah, working backstage.
Oh, I hope that's the case. I hope that's it's the case.
I watched this birthday.
Okay. To end the show, we're going to go ahead and have our boy T-Money talk about what's been going on with WWE and the issue of Ric Flair and his lawsuits on WWE. Here you go.
Okay, Ric Flair says he's declaring war on W over the men. If you're going, he said, if you're going,
and the title and term and use of the logo known as the man.
He said, if you're going to use that, you should pay me. And he believes that they is ripping him off using the phrase "the man" without his permission, and now he's dreading legal action. And he told Triple H and WWE that he was going to file a lawsuit, and Triple H and WWE and Seth Rollins had decided to unfollow him on Twitter. And he doesn't have any problem with Becky Lynch. He loves Becky Lynch, but he says if he's going to use that name, they should pay him. And he told his lawyers that about what they was doing, and he had them call them, and I guess they didn't care. And he told the WWE that that's his name, the man, because he used that in 1981, and one of the people said, "Bull crap." So like I said, he's gonna sue the WWE.
Who said that? Who was one of the 1980s guys that said bullcrap?
No. One of the writers. He told one of the writers that that's his name because he had it in 1981, and they didn't believe him.
Go back on the footage. You got plenty of it.
And Ric Flair said the same thing you said. He got proof that he used it in 1981.
But did he continue to use it for months upon months upon months upon months?
He said it's on his T-shirts and all his merchandise and on the book. and all his classic. He used that name on his classic matches
and probably on the DVDs too.
Yeah, DVDs, interviews, and promos. Everything, all that name, he used it on everything. And he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna sue WWE. And here's nothing. Charlotte Flair is mad at him because he told her what he was gonna do.
In other words, his daughter, who's wrestling and is making a big name for herself, is not siding with her father. Ooh, talk about a dilemma. Damn.
Because she feels that it could ruin her. But he's not doing that to her.
Yeah. Yeah, when certain people like Jimmy Snuka, Bret the Hitman Hart, they affect all the people, even people with certain names like Andrea, Ali, and Apollo Crews. He couldn't even use Crews, and TJ Perkins had to go by TGP. She sees that angle. Oh, damn. I see what she's talking about. I see what you meant.
Well, it's not like that. They're just talking about they don't like wrestlers. That's the one thing they can do is sue WWE so they get that name back. Because every wrestler has stand up WWE. WWE is getting tired of all these wrestlers with their lawyers and all that. WWE doesn't like lawyers.
Who doesn't like lawyers? The only time you like a lawyer is when the lawyer is getting you money. Mm-hmm. That's the only time you like a lawyer.
Just like Scott Steiner said, if you're going to put me in the Hall of Fame, you're going to have to pay me.
Which is right. Yeah. Get royalty.
Yeah.
Rappers do it. Sports stars do it. Mm-hmm. And WWE, wrestling in general, is a sport, so why not? I see what he makes his point.
Like I said, I do refer I'm on Refer's side. Believe me, I'm on Refer's side.
I imagine Sting is still getting stuff that are products from his day, right? Mm-hmm. What? The toy figures, the DVDs.
Well, he's
still getting royalty checks from TNA, right? They're still selling his merchandise. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, CM Punk, you name it. Anybody that was on TNA and have DVDs and Ring of Honor, they're still getting royalty checks, right? You tell me no, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm not even any of those guys.
Here's the thing: if you're not with the company no more, you're not gonna get that.
But they're still selling DVDs in their name, because I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw all those people's names in TNA, and they still say TNA, Impact.com, TNA.com. When they were still promoting that stuff. They're even still promoting their wrestling careers on the new Impact Plus. So, AJ, Sting, Samoa Joe, three names who just got to look back on those careers, they're not getting a cut of that.
Some wrestlers are, some wrestlers aren't.
I call bullshit on their behalf. Because if I was in their shoes, you bringing up my name, you bringing up the footage with my face, my moves, my career, I expect to get paid. Big or small, I expect to get paid.
If you said something, if you said some things about Triple H and Stephanie, you ain't gonna get what you want.
Well, shit. Ain't that some dumb shit?
Just like Scott Steiner, his stuff is still on his match is still on the network, and he's not getting paid for that.
Ooh, yeah, he's definitely mad. I'd be mad if I was him. I'd be mad. I'd be like, they're showing my shit. I'm not getting money for this. Where's my lawyer?
And plus, when he was mad when they released the game like 3 years ago, he was hoping he was going to be on the game, but that didn't happen because he said that he should be on that game because he's the one that has beaten Goldberg many times as other wrestlers have.
Go ahead.
And he's like like I said, that he wanted everything that he was getting paid for. That didn't happen with WWE.
We lost track of time. This video is already.
I was already done anyway.
It's going for 45 minutes.
I'm done anyway.
I'll let you talk. It's not just my podcast. It's your podcast too.
Speaking of Ric Flair, he said that if he doesn't win, then he wishes WWE well, but he feels that WWE is disrespecting him.
Right. Right.
And WWE is treating him bad. He believes that he said he needs if they're gonna pay him, he needs money to take care of his family because he's got a wife too.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, by the looks of the time, I know your ride's coming. It's already past 9:30. So with that said, ideally, this is perfect because we're not going to do this on Monday. We're going to do this on Sunday because after the Turtwig Community Day on Pokemon Go, I'll be coming home on time before the show of Clash of Champions, in which case I'll be meeting up with my friends and hopefully we can cover both Impact Wrestling of this Friday, which is today, and 205 Live and NXT. Supposedly, the last we'll see on a WWE network airing will be live. We'll be having because it already covered on WWE, called by Triple H, that both the 205 Live brand will be canceled and that it will be merging with the 2-hour event scheduled show premiering on USA Channel this Wednesday on the 18th. So both shows will be together and 205 Live will just merge with NXT. That's what's speculated. So will we see come Tuesday a 205 Live show anyway? I don't know. We'll talk about it. If we do, we'll have a podcast for that, respectfully. And of course, now we'll have a 2-hour show for NXT. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you this Sunday for our show featuring your boy, SergDragon, and T-Money, and the rest of the Heaven's Monster podcast. And I almost forgot, let's not forget to mention them. Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in descriptions down below, and hope to see them this Sunday, along with Renee, Farrell, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. I'm going to call Delvin, see if he can make it. If not, we'll see, because that room is going to be packed if we get everybody. God damn. I need to see if I can get some sort of camera kind of back up, or I just have to do it at a different angle. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to see if we can change the seating arrangement if I have to. In which case, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button right here if you like the content, and hit that notification bell right over here. It's for the next Heavens and Monsters podcast. I'm SergDragon. This is T-Money. We'll see you this Sunday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.